Good afternoon, everybody. How's everybody doing? Yeah. Welcome to the Cradle Coaches Plaza and Yager Stadium on this beautiful day. I mean, it's not raining, it's not snowing, it's not 32 degrees, and it's going to be a gorgeous day here in Oxford. We're thrilled to have you here with us on a day to be remembered forever in Miami history as we induct Sean McVay, Miami class of 2008, as the 82nd member of the Cradle Coaches Association, and unveil his statue and joining the 9 other coaching luminaries who are immortalized here in the Cradle of Coaches Plaza. 10 other statues, including Tom Van Voorhees. I was getting there. So, again, a round of applause, first of all, for Sean McVay to be a part here. Appreciate you coming to be a part of this with us. To kick off the celebration and the leader of all things, love and honor, please welcome Miami University president and one of the biggest Miami athletics fans out there, Greg Crawford, to the podium.
Thank you. Well, thank you very much. It's just a very exciting day to be here today to honor one of our alums, Sean McVay. We're so excited for you, and we're so excited for this statue, and we welcome your wife, Veronica, here today, and all of your family. So the Cradle of Coaches, where we sit today, is all about sustained excellence, and it's also about a legacy of honor and excellence and love and honor. And so I thought what I would do is maybe take you back a little bit. Let's go back a century and think about what this stands for. So back there on the right is Earl Henry Blake, Red Blake. He was born in 1897, believe it or not, and he played for the Miami from 1915 to 1917. And then he went off, and he was an officer in the U.S. Army and the Calgary, and he came back to Miami as an assistant coach. And then from there, he went on to Dartmouth and coached, and then had this extraordinary career at West Point. And he had 3 national championships in 1944, 1945, and 1946. And those teams were all undefeated. He coached 3 Heisman Trophy winners. He actually coined the name Black Knights, which is with them today for all their sports teams. And he was just an extraordinary person. He had this great ripple effect, too, which we'll talk about, a coaching tree. And Red Blake's coaching tree was 20 different head coaches that came out of his assistant coaching ranks. So he had this extraordinary ripple. Now we fast forward a few decades, and one of the coaches that I knew, Ara Parsegan, born in 1923. Coach Parsegan came back to Miami after World War II and played as a running back. He was an incredible running back, and then off to the Browns for a few years, and then he returned to Miami University as head coach. He had a suffocating defense, and when we often talked about football with Coach, he'd always say, well, if the other team can't score, they can't win. That was one of his favorite quotes to us. And then he went off to Northwestern and had a great career there. And then in 1964, he goes to Notre Dame and a losing team for 5 years before that. And he turns them around. First year as head coach, he becomes a national champion. And a little person that didn't play much there, John Hewitt, that now played under Coach, wins the Heisman Trophy. So 11 years later, Coach Parsegan has 2 national championships, 9 out of his 11 years. He was in the top 10, and he was just known for that defense. And I think more importantly, what he was known for was actually fighting Niemann-Pick, a rare, insidious disease that took the lives of his grandchildren. And he fought even after their death to make sure other families could actually benefit from research in that area for funds that he raised. Now, if we think to today, 1 century after Red Blake played here at Miami University, we're honoring a new coach, Sean McVay. And Sean, it's okay to announce your birthday since you're still young, but born in 1986, and he played for the Miami Redhawks and graduated in 2008. And he had an extraordinary career. He started off as assistant coach with the Buccaneers and the Tuskers, the UFL, and then on to the Redskins, the Commanders. And then in 2017, he's hired as the head coach of the LA Rams. And since then, he's the youngest coach to actually win NFL Coach of the Year, the youngest coach to play in the Super Bowl, and the youngest coach to win the Super Bowl. And in his time since 2017 with the LA Rams, his tree is growing too, his coaching tree, his ripple effect that he's having on the industry. He's placed 5 in head coaching positions at the University of Arizona Wildcats, the Minnesota Vikings, the Green Bay Packers, the LA Chargers, and the Cincinnati Bengals. And so we're so honored today We're so honored today, Coach McVay, that you continue this great legacy that we have here at Miami University. We're so proud to be with you today to celebrate this with your family. And just thank you for everything you have done, and thank you for your excellence in the NFL. Congratulations and love and honor.
Thank you very much, President Crawford. While you're on campus today, by the way, I hope you take time to walk around, not only here at Yager Stadium, but walk around this beautiful campus on this beautiful day. See all of the incredible work that is being done everywhere on campus. It's truly something special to be a part of and a great time to be a Red Hawk, and you'll see that everywhere on campus today. Next to the podium, we welcome Lori Brown, Miami class of 1978, and the chairperson of the Hall of Fame Cradle of Coaches Committee.
Thank you, Steve. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Miami University's 2023 Cradle of Coaches Induction Ceremony. As Steve said, I'm Lori Brown, chairperson of the Hall of Fame and Cradle of Coaches Selection Committee. Today, we are honoring Sean McVay for his athletic contributions as a distinguished teacher, leader, role model, and coach. The Cradle of Coaches Association was established in 1971 to acknowledge the role Miamians have played in establishing this university as the cradle of coaches. While all Miami alumni who go on to coach or those who have coached at Miami are considered a part of the cradle, in 1992, the Cradle of Coaches Association began inducting individuals into the association to further recognize their outstanding accomplishments on a national scale and scope. In 1999 and 2000, Miami's Hall of Fame Committee further developed criteria for induction into the Cradle of Coaches and to be more inclusive of all sports. Every year, the names and resumes of many admirable individuals are submitted for nomination into Miami's Hall of Fame and into the Cradle of Coaches. At this time, we'd like to acknowledge all of the current Cradle of Coaches members who are in attendance today. If you would please stand and be recognized. Those who have received statues here at Yager Stadium are Miami University graduates who went on to great success. Those successes include national championships, Super Bowl titles, National Coach of the Year honors, and National Hall of Fame inductions. These have been earned at the highest level of professional and collegiate football. Today, Sean McVay joins the following list of coaching luminaries with a statue in the Cradle of Coaches Plaza: Red Blake, Paul Brown, Carm Koza, Paul Dietzel, Weeb Eubank, John Harbaugh, Ara Parsegan, John Pont, and Bo Schembechler. So, without further ado, selected for his outstanding contributions as a coach and the leadership shown in the field of athletics for Miami University, we honor Sean McVay. we proudly recognize Sean McVay, whose outstanding contributions, service, and loyalty to the coaching profession bring honor and distinction to Miami University and perpetuate its reputation for excellence. The athletic department is pleased to present this token of appreciation and to induct Sean McVay into the Cradle of Coaches Association.
Thank you very much, Lori. Congratulations, Sean, on the official induction into the Cradle of Coaches Association. Our next speaker is the vision behind Miami Athletics' mission of graduating champions, which is to provide guidance and support for our more than 500 student athletes in their undying and unyielding pursuit to graduate with a Miami degree in one hand and a championship ring on the other. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome our Director of Athletics, David Saylor, to the podium.
Bake, thank you as always for being such a gracious host for all of us. I need to check the win there. But Bake, I appreciate you. I also want to acknowledge Lindsay Sparks for all of her efforts. If we could all give her a round of applause for organizing everything today. Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you. Honored to be here. I want to welcome Sean, his entire family, for joining us today. His wife, Veronica, great to see you and chance to meet you. Parents, Tim and Cindy, to have you back again. We also have cousin Emma and Uncle John here, which is fantastic, and I welcome you guys and hope your visit's been enjoyable. Thank you for being here. To Sean, my congrats on this induction into the Cradle of Coaches. It's quite an honor. You can see the empty chair you have sitting next to you. We've left that open for a reason. That spot is reserved in honor of your grandfather, John. John McVay is already in the Cradle of Coaches, so today is a historic day. The reason so is that the McVays are now the only two family members in the Cradle of Coaches. Let's give a round of applause for that accomplishment. Let's just say that I've been tracking Sean's success for a while. We inducted Coach Harbaugh into the Cradle and did his statue in 2014. For those that have been coming to the games over the past years, there's been an empty podium over here for a while. That was empty for a reason. It's because we knew there'd be another inductee in the near future, and I kind of had a feeling it might be Sean as we tracked his career. So that was done for a purpose, and sure enough, once Coach won the Super Bowl against the Bengals and had already won Coach of the Year, that sealed his spot here in the plaza. And so it's an honor to be here today to actually make this happen. I also am going to point out, you can't see it right now, obviously, but the pose of the statue is so appropriate for Sean. For those that know and have studied and read about his career, offensive genius, great strategic plan all the time, always thinking about the next thing, an unbelievable recall of plays and situations and formations. So it's a pose that represents a thinker, a strategist, someone that's out scheming the other team, and that's really what you're going to see, and I'm thrilled to get to a point where we can actually see it and look at it. Most importantly, though, I told Sean just a little bit ago, this statue is a link to all these other statues. We have young people that come visit our games every year, recruits that come into town. They might not know some of these individual coaches, but they know who Sean McVay is. Sean's statue will invigorate the rest of the statues and bring people to the forefront of Miami's amazing history and past and connect it all together in a way that is truly special. So that's what today is really about, and that's the impact, Sean, that you're bringing for this entire plaza, this stadium, this campus, Oxford, Ohio, the whole 9 yards. So again, congratulations on that. I'm going to finish with a quick story. So we won the MAC championship in 2019 in football. One of our players, Evan Crabtree, at graduation, he actually gave me a note card, and I was honored to take it, look at it later, and he actually told me to put an empty podium in the plaza for him one day. So this is a kid graduating in 2020, talking about a podium for himself. When I was graduating, I was just hoping to make more in thousands than my age in whatever it is I was going to be doing. But Evan was already talking about being inducted in this plaza one day. That's the kind of people, that's the kind of student athletes that this institution creates and graduates. People that think that way and have ambition and goals. And that's what this is all about. The Miami student athlete and the production of great alumni that have gone on to do amazing things. So with that said, I'm proud to have Sean as one of our own here at Miami. Love and honor, and congratulations on this amazing accomplishment.
Thank you very much, David. The 11 statues around you, including this one, including the one directly outside of Thomas Van Voorhees, would not be possible without the one-of-a-kind talent of our next speaker. We were talking earlier today. It was cloudy, and she looked at me and said, it would be really nice if it was sunny. And, Kristen, there's your sunshine. Would you please welcome the one-of-a-kind talent, American sculptor Kristen Visbal.
I swear you had a past in radio, am I right? Yeah? Good afternoon, everybody. Sunshine, yay! I got in the car to read my notes because I just wrote them last night. I hope you don't mind, Sean, but I needed to do a little practicing, and I said, God, just bring us a little bit of sun, just for 1 hour. And here we have it. The bronzes look so much more beautiful in the sun. So this is our 11th coach. I cannot believe it. That's a lot of work these guys have been, okay? And in October, it's 14 years since we started the Cradle of Coaches statue tradition, right? So it amazes me how many fabulous coaches have been churned out of Miami University. I mean, how are you doing it, you know? And like Paul Dietzel had his own way too. He was also famous for his moves, right, on the field. So they must be doing something right. In fact, there's been so many successful coaches that have come out of Miami that it led Bob Kurz to coin the name Cradle of Coaches. So Bob unfortunately died this winter. I know he would love to be here today. He is missed. He's survived by his wife, Marion. And if you would all indulge me, please, let's give a couple of minutes of silence for Bob. Yes, excellent. Cradle of Coaches book that he wrote. He coined the phrase. So we miss him. I miss seeing those guys here today. But it's an honor to add Sean McVay to this illustrious collection of coaches today. And I'm going to repeat the president in saying the youngest NFL head coach and the youngest head coach to win the Super Bowl and the youngest coach to be added to our Cradle of Coaches collection. So we get it, Sean. You're young and you're very successful, and that's great. And I know that that doesn't happen without determination and commitment and passion, that beautiful golden trio. I know what it's like to try and galvanize a group of people, to get them to follow you, and they follow you because they believe you're going to lead them to victory, and they follow you because they believe in you. It's a unique quality that very few people possess, and it's that quality that drove you to win the Super Bowl. And it's that quality that's going to lead you to the next victory, whatever that may be. It might be different. Right? It might be something different. We're all interested to see where your career will lead you. And remember, you guide the rudder in your life, Sean, and I'm very optimistic about your future. Thank you for sitting through the extensive measurements and photographs. Sorry, I feel like it's like not right there. Photographs we took him for meeting me in LA. So I know it's really anal for all of you. I have a measurement form, and I take extensive measurements every time even if I'm taking it from a photo, because a lot of these guys were not living, right? So the length of the eye, the height of the eye, the distance between your eyes, all of those things help me so much during the creative stage, because it brings me back to what's reality. The photos get distorted and the measurements don't lie, right? So I thank you for that. For each one of our coaches, I examined every photo I could find of them. And I think it's so interesting because we're human beings and we develop these habits and mannerisms. And every one of these coaches had some sort of habit. So, Paul Brown would always put his hand in his pocket, and Paul Dietzel was always pointing, okay? Weeb Eubank always had something to write with on the field, always. So, and Era and Carm, they were always coaching on the sidelines. For you, Sean, I saw this strong fist, right? But I also saw legs akimbo, arms crossed in a pensive mode, right? Just like Mr. Saylor said, you're like strategizing behind the scenes. And when we met, I showed up with a drawing, and Sean's like, no, this is what I do. This is what I always do. And he assumed a different pose, and we changed our design. So I'm glad you were like here and alive, because most of these guys, like 6 of these guys, were sculpted posthumously. You understand? You what? Exactly. So your sculpture was cast using the 6,000-year-old lost wax casting process. In Latin, that's cire perdue, or lost wax, right? So it is not bronzing. And because there's a bronze of you, you need to know that. Everybody out there gets confused. If you take your baby shoes and you dip them in bronze, that's bronzing. Casting is this really arduous, detailed process. It's a double mold. You use the first mold to cast a hollow wax duplicate, and the second mold is built in layers out of colloidal silica, and that'll withstand the heat of molten metal. So it's an intricate process, but it leads to artworks that they'll last for an indefinite time, right? And this is perfect for you because it allows us to commemorate what you've done on this earth for centuries. Okay? So it's here for centuries. I keep ad-libbing and losing my place. I'm glad you're young enough to enjoy this. Look around you. And like I said, we've lost all but 2 of these coaches. Okay? So there's you and there's John. And everybody else has passed. I was fortunate enough to meet Paul and Carm and Era. And Era was an amazing speaker in his own right. So they're gone, but they still inspire us through their likeness in bronze, so we can remember who and what they stood for. They are not forgotten, and neither will you be, Sean, because you have this fabulous, fabulous gift that's being given to you to be immortalized in bronze. So this is a wonderful thing Miami University is doing for you today. And it was my honor to bring your sculpture to life. And I have great hopes for your future. And I thank you all. Okay.
Thank you very much, Kristen. We are so lucky to have your work as part of this campus for all to enjoy, as you said, for many years to come. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment that we have all been waiting for. Coach McVay, we invite you to stand next to your statue for the unveiling of your piece that will forever live in the Cradle of Coaches Plaza, celebrating your graduation from Miami University and your success as head coach in the National Football League. Coach McVay, do the honors, please. Ladies and gentlemen, Sean
Wow, this is incredible. I do that because I try to overcompensate because I'm really not very smart. So that's why I make that pose. But it's an amazing honor to be here. You're so reminded of what makes this place so special, and it's all about the people. And couldn't be more humbled and flattered to be here. And things like this don't occur without great people. But I do want to acknowledge President Crawford and his wife. It was great to meet you guys. You've done such a great job. Going into year 8 as the president. Amazing to be able to meet you guys. Very grateful for that. David Saylor, Lori Brown with the committee. Just really appreciate you guys, and so honored to be inducted into the Cradle of Coaches. It really means a lot to me. Want to be able to recognize my family. My wife, Veronica, my mom and dad, Tim and Cindy, are here. Uncle John and my cousin Emma, and then, so many of the most important relationships with my former teammates and friends. And, I talked to the team earlier, and you guys don't even know how much it means to be able to go through the things that you're going through right now. I love being able to talk to you guys. You could just see the engagement, the energy is right. I'm looking forward to great things. Get another MAC championship. 19. Now let's go ahead and see 2023 MAC champions from Miami of Ohio, man. Let's get it done. Okay. When I think about, my grandfather's seat right there, I think about love and honor and how much he epitomized those things. You talk about love and honor, and what it really means to me is, the most important things that really last in life. He always used to teach me that character and relationships are the only things that last, and he epitomized that. And I think that's a good way of being able to say love and honor. When you talk about relationships, those are the things that, how you pour into people, the way that you make people feel. Are you uplifting? Are you bringing that right energy? Are you bringing that right vibe? And my grandfather just did such a great job of modeling the way and what it meant to be a leader, to be a man that treated people the right way, that responded from adversity the right way, who stayed humble throughout all the good times. And then you talk about the character, how you handle all those types of things, the way that you're developing the relationships, the character that you had, and he epitomized that. But that's love and honor. That's Miami. And when you get a chance to be around this place, it is so special, and I get to see so many familiar faces. It's almost like you're just coming right back, and a lot of the things haven't changed, and that's a good thing because the people are still the same, and they still have the same zest for life and the way that they approach different things. But this is such a blessing, to be honored amongst these other great coaches, these great leaders. What you try to always do as a leader is uplift situations that you're a part of and elevate people that you're around. And the greatest coaches that I've been around are the ones that were the servant leaders. And that's why that was one of the things that was attractive about being able to come to Miami, the cradle of coaches. Well, a lot of people throw that around, but what does it really mean? It's about that history, that legacy that everybody talked about. And, I feel certainly very honored and flattered. I feel too young to be doing this, but it's because I was around great players, great coaches. These are team awards. And none of this happens without being around great people. I'm so fortunate and honored to be here with you guys and want to continue to uphold that legacy. And we got a couple guys that I played with that are on our staff that wouldn't be shocked if Joe Caniglio and Chris Shula were coming back one time, and hopefully they'll be alive too when they get their statues revealed. But it's awesome. Thank you so much. Love and honor.
Yes, keep it going. Sean McVay. What a moment it's been as we celebrate Coach McVay and his accomplishments. Thrilled you can be here for a part of this historical Miami ceremony. Sean, really appreciate you and your family coming back and being a part of this. And, we'll be watching the Rams. Be following along. Just like always, there's two teams I cheer for, the Bengals and the Rams. And if you're playing, I'm still rooting for you. I'm sorry, Thank you, everybody, for being here today with us. We look forward to seeing you back right here at Yager Stadium Saturday, September 23rd, as Miami football opens the home schedule against Delaware State. Again, thank you so much for coming out and being a part of this day. Drive home safely. Love and honor.